Alright then. Welcome, welcome. It's the beginning of the end. So, as for what I'm planning on doing for this stream, I'm going to be working on getting the details in on all of these characters. I'm probably going to be starting with Kiara, since she is currently the most basic out of all of them, and probably then moving on to Ina, who is the most wrong-looking out of all of them. Callie's almost done already, honestly. I spent a bit too much time coloring and detailing when I was doing her initial sketch. Gura's probably going to be last because she is basically detail perfect as far as I can get her, at the very least. So my priorities are currently Kiara, Ina, Watson, Gura, Callie. So then, time to get details. First thing I'm going to need is a reference image for Kiara. I believe I still have one saved. No, I didn't. I cleaned out a bunch of things that I thought I wouldn't need anymore. And apparently one of those was the reference sheet I was using for Kiara, so I'll have to re-download that. How unfortunate. Her outfit is fairly simple too, so I shouldn't have too much of an issue with that. It's very small, which is why it's easy. I do wish Google Images worked a bit better. Let's see. There we are. Also, there's no real point saying this now, because as far as I can tell, nobody is actually watching. The one viewer is my own stream that I have running so that I can monitor myself. But if I don't see any messages, that doesn't mean I don't care. It just means I'm blind. Alright then. Right, her hats. I had made mention that I was going to include those, but it's a very odd angle. They'd have to be stuck to her head, although with the amount of moving around that she does, they probably are anyways. Especially that one. That's not even resting on anything. It's probably held there with some form of phoenix magic. Alright then. Well, a beret and a chicken leg holder. Let's get started. I'm going to do the same thing that I did back in the first part. I'm going to rotate the canvas so that it is as if she is standing, but sideways and leaning up against something. Alright. That's a bit too much, actually. I need her head to be straight up. There we are. That's almost right. Feels a bit off. One more turn. There we go. Well rotated. I think I captured her facial expression the best out of any of the members. That seems like a face that Kiara would most certainly make, especially in this sort of position. Alright. And the other difficult thing is her hair coloring because of the amount of gradient it has in it. So I'm gonna have to work with that. Okay. But first things first, let me get a new layer. And it's gonna want to be down here with the rest of Kiara, above the hair outline. So Kiara's hats. Alright. So, first things first. What type of... or which type of hat do I draw first? And how much of the head does it cover? Not very much. So I'll do the beret first. So that'll be around here. Okay, and there's no real dip in the material at that point, so it's just a straight up and curved down to around the halfway point of her head almost. So from around here. So it curves up and around like that. Yes, and it's a flat line from here as well. So now I need this portion like this. I'll add the bow on later. And by later, I mean now. Although this is... it's going to be very difficult to convey where the bow is, because this portion of the hat is black. So the black outline doesn't do me any favors. If I do that, it's more apparent that the bow sticks out of the hat slightly more. And it also goes into the red portion of the hat as well. Okay. There's also no, like, divot, I guess. That's not quite the right word, but it doesn't... The hat itself isn't quite a beret because it seems to be all hat except for like this portion here. So let's see. I think I need to make the slope a bit more severe on this side. Something like that. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Once again, I wish I was using a larger canvas. I wonder if there's a way to change it mid-drawing, but I don't want to risk it. Okay. Now for the other hat. It's almost... In fact, I think it is behind her hairline. So I'm just going to draw that coming... Yeah, it is, because you can tell the direction that it's pointed. If there was a line that was drawn to her head from where this is positioned, you could see it is on the back half of her head. Okay, and then there's also that, which is probably something, but all it serves to do is make art more difficult. So then, since this doesn't have a clearly defined outline, I'm just going to do it in its own color. Like this. And then that. Okay. And this actually has an orange outline, which is fairly interesting. I think... I was going to say, I think that might be a running motif with her body, but it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, no, those are definitely black outlines there. But that is, interestingly, an orange. I think the same goes for her hair. Yeah, it's not a very dark outline for her hair. In fact, it might not even have one. Yeah, I'm just going to do the outline of this in black. Because I'm not confident in using light orange outlines at this stage of progress. Also, does not curve quite like that I'm just gonna undo it all. So it's straight out of her head, not curved. It's a bit better, maybe? It's hard to tell. Let's see. Like this. And pops out a bit for becoming curved. Oh dear, perspective. Okay, this is probably going to be the most difficult thing I do today, is trying to figure out how to get this perspective correct. Okay, I'm just going to count the lines in the hat so that I know how reasonable it is. So that's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no, it's 5. Yes, I find performing simple tasks very difficult while talking. Right there. Ooh. Okay. They all have to be moving at a consistent angle so that the illusion of 3D is not shattered. Oh. No. How is it done on this side? Okay, you just see like the indent of it. Okay, I won't bother with that very much. So. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to add in the details. I'm not good enough to be able to make the cuts into it. I would like to leave it like this. Okay, make the curve less severe on the bottom. I think that might fix my problem. No, not quite. No. Oh, that's a bit better. That might do it. I need to create a... Okay. There we go. I think that probably helps. But it's very difficult to tell without having an eye for this sort of thing. I think my quick job on the left side probably also messing me up. Yes, that probably helps. Somewhat. It's close enough that I don't particularly feel like editing it any further. So then, let's see, the general color of the hat is almost a light gray, so I'm going to try and use that instead. Let's see what happens if I try and fill tool these parts. Okay. So you can still see the black outline, which is good. That's what I wanted. However, I need to do a little bit of cleanup work so that the bow is in front of the line of the hat. I'm gonna make the bow a bit bigger than it is, even in the official design, so that it's apparent much more so. I think one of the things that's definitely holding me back the most is attempting to stick to, you know what, I'm just gonna undo all of the coloring. Is attempting to stick too closely to the official designs. If I do this sort of thing again, I would probably want to try and work off of memory, honestly. Ugh, I started erasing something that I shouldn't have. Okay, and see if I can challenge myself to that. Which I don't think would be a very good idea, but it might do me better than how I'm working now. Okay, so. No, I'm still on eraser. Recreate this line. Recreate this line. Okay, the center of the bow. Oh, okay. Bow will go here. So, here is the center of the bow. Goes out further. Let's see, I think the bow should be a bit more rectangular in the center. Okay, that's a bit better. Since I don't have the canvas size to depict the stars in her beret, I will probably end up just using white dots. Okay, so now I can go back to the lightest shade of gray I can pick off of this hat, and then bucket tool these portions in. There we go. And now I can get some white dots in. Right, and are the dots there on the bow as well? There we are. Now let's shrink these a little bit. Maybe I can do them in pluses, and that would make it look more like stars. Like this. That's a bit better. Yeah, I think that works. Right, let's get another one in here. Yeah. I don't need stars, I can have pluses. There we are. Yes, perfect. Well, as perfect as I can get it. Alright then, so I'll take this for the base. This is the sort of darker portion of her hat to the back. And I will actually try and do some copied shading because I'm definitely not good enough to do it myself. And now I'm just going to spot blur the seam together. That doesn't look quite right. Perhaps I need to drag the blur in a bit more. That's a bit better. I don't mind that quite as much. Okay. So that's the majority of the detail in. Now, I am just going to... Ooh, way up there. Get her skin in, I think. Should be a next step. You know what? I'm gonna smooth out that jawline, because that is very jagged. Although it might be a result of a rotated canvas as well. But it does not look great. So... Oh, I'm still on the blur tool. Let's jump up that eraser size. Alright. Oh. Oh, she has a sharp chin. Sharp chin. Come on. You can do this. That's a bit better. Alright. I think I'll go with that. Yeah, that's a bit better. It's a lot less jagged than it was previously. Now then. Do I do skin or hair color first? Let me take a look at her hair, see if there's anything I'd like to edit. I don't think so. Yeah. Her hair is fine as is. Oh, right. I was taking a look at her design, and the outline of her hair is always in orange. And it's only the interiors and the hair whichever turn teal-ish. Let me actually just like erase that so that I don't have any residual shades of teal stuck in her hair. There we are. Now then, let's just get an additional little flick of hair coming out. Like this. Give this side a bit more detail. To evoke this sort of thing. Okay, so I shouldn't have it go all the way up to her hairline. Or her face line, rather. It should disappear a bit inwards. And I'll do the same with this one, like that. And I should probably have some gaps in her hair down lower as well, even though you can't necessarily see it on this shot. In fact, it probably shouldn't go that far down while she is leaning sideways either. It probably... Let's see. So if her hair were on straight, so let me just go on to a layer that doesn't matter over here, Ame's clothes. So if I were to take a line, preferably a color that's not the same as her hair. Okay, so straight down. Like this. we're... Oh, this isn't moving anything to do with ammo, right? It is not doing that anymore. Okay. Well, I was just trying to judge how long her hair actually is, but I don't think I need to get that detailed. So, where was it? Kiara, hair color, back on this layer. Or no, I want to be on hair. What have I done? Nothing. I've done nothing, thank goodness. It's all in hair outline. So, let's get back to the color that I was using previously for her hair outline. And drawing in some little details at the base here. Let's see. That can be in little, like, gaps like this. So her hair isn't one mono structure. But that'll be showing what's behind, which is Callie. So I'm gonna have to remember that. That is a very specific detail that I'll have to note and carry through. Okay. Her hair looks a bit better at this point, so. As for her hair color, it is probably the most gradient out of all of the other Hololive members. And it even has shades of this teal blue up at the top, where you can see it around the base of her hair. And it's also what forms the shading, or the highlights along the rim of her forehead. So that's going to be interesting to work with. But fortunately I've mastered the use of the blur tool. So I'm just going to try filling. And exactly what I thought would happen happened. So I think I want the hair outline underneath hair color. And will that solve it? It will not. It will not solve that. Okay, I guess I'll just do it by hand. But hair outline does want to be over hair color. Okay, I'm just going to do what I see all of the artists do. And that is this. And then I will clean up the details later, as well as blend in the new colors. Okay, that's the hair done. Now, to erase the overlapping parts. I wonder if there's a way to quickly scroll without moving my mouse over to the scroll wheel, or the scroll bar rather, because if I use the scroll wheel, it simply zooms in and out. Does control scroll work in reverse? It does not. Is it alt scroll? No? There really is no consistency, huh? Okay, I need even smaller eraser here. My goodness. Kiara probably has the most difficult hair to work with out of all of them. that's fine. I'll get past this difficulty. Oh, every time I see the pixels, I wish I was working on a sheet that was larger. Every time. It just hurts me to be using a program like this and to be operating on the level of MS Paint. I also understand that this is probably a very inefficient way to do coloring, but I don't understand what's better. I don't know how to do it. I understand that layers won't show what's underneath their layer, but if I was simply to just draw in the skin and draw in the background, and those would cover up the hair that overlaps, then wouldn't I simply have the same issue with the skin overlapping into the hair? I don't see how that would be a fix for the situation, because then I'd have to be doing the same thing for the skin. Hopefully, I can make friends with someone who does understand art and how it works and can educate me in this matter. Because it is beyond me at this moment. Let's undo that. I need to remember that I should be using this like a brush. Just erase in patches and draw in patches. No need to do everything at once. It's not wasting time lifting up my mouse cursor for a second in order to be able to undo a smaller mistake. See? I've done it. I've done it again. I think what I'm jinxing myself with is that the thought that I am losing progress when I stop to lift my finger off so that I don't have to undo everything. Also, what is happening here? This doesn't seem to be the right color of outline. It just feels slightly off. What color did I use for that? I'll see about fixing that in a bit. Yeah, so like, Kiara's hair color is also underneath that hat, but you can't see it because the hat's in front. However, if I was to do that for the skin, and I colored in the skin, the hair wouldn't cover it, but the skin would cover the hair. I don't understand how that helps in any way. Alright, let's... Actually, I never finished the hat properly. So... Wait, what am I doing? Oh no. I've mixed up Callie and Kiara. Okay. Let me darken this by a shade or two. See the difference in the gap here. Let's darken it even further. There we are. Back to this color. Fill and fill the base. No, not quite. Almost. There. Like that. There we go. Curve it a bit less on that side. Okay, that's generally a bit better. Oops. Went back on the eraser. Okay. You know what? Harder eraser. Right. I'm not on the... No, this is on Callie's hair, I believe. Callie's hair color? No, it's not. What did I do it on? Is it Kiara hats? No, it's not. Does Kiara have her own hair color there? She doesn't. Is it on Callie's hair outline? It is. Okay. So Callie's hair outline is also Kiara's hair color. Which is unfortunate. What is happening here? Right. This is fine. I'm not too bothered by it. I just want it to look good. Okay, now then, for the most difficult part. Oh, the jump in quality that you see going from this one to this one. Incredible. Alright. Let's get some of that bird blue in. Sort of in this rim. I think that's a bit pale for what I want. Oh, that's because I'm still on the eraser. I am a fool. You know what? Through the neck. That's fine. Okay. Blur. Blur time. sort of smudge it in. Just a bit of smudging. Just to get it mixed in. If I do this, yes. I wish transparent wouldn't mix in. I wonder if there's any way to not include transparent layers with the blur. Possibly in the settings of blurring. Let me take a look. So, ooh, blend. I might actually want this more. Maybe. Let's increase the brush size. What happens if I spot blend? I think this is actually a bit better for my purposes. Yes, but if I include transparent elements, it messes with it. Perhaps I'm not always even getting the transparent elements, but because of how the shade of blue is, it looks like the transparent layer. I mainly just don't want the harsh lines of where the two colors meet. This do? Oh, that brought up an alert. Let's not do that. Right. Examining the different kinds of blurring tools. That's just dragging the colors that already exist around. I see. That's not what I want. Oh. Yeah, that just drags the colorless in. This blend is definitely the best tool for what my intentions are here. I think. Again, I'm not entirely certain. I'm no artist. Okay. Okay. It's mainly in the tips of her hair that it becomes semi-apparent as well. So I want to get a very small pen size and just sort of dot it in the tips of her hair. And then I can blur. I think this is a blur and drag situation, so that the color actually spreads a bit more instead of just being dots. Let's get some more points of color in the ones that I've already attempted. Blur again. Just some light coloration so that her hair isn't just one color. Okay, it's sort of working, but the problem is it doesn't go up against the edge. Because that's where it's supposed to be. It just looks like there's little bits. Just bits of it in her hair. That's slightly better. Alright. Let's color pick that sort of center area here. And I will increase the brush size a bit. What is the... shine? Now I want to blur. It's not the kind of effect that I was going for, so perhaps not blur. Or blend, but blur. I think the only way to do this properly is to do it properly. Maybe? No, there's no way. This has to be blended in some way. But you know what? It's probably blended with a much larger canvas. Okay, but if I pull out, her hair looks manageable. Lines are still a bit too hard down around the base. Let's see. How does that work? Pulling out, it doesn't look... Well, it looks bad, but it doesn't look horrible, at the very least. There's small amounts of detail in it. Alright, well, moving on. Let's get some skin. So, now, I will actually put this on a correct layer for Kiara's skin. You know what? I should draw her outfit first. So, she actually has a ribbon around her neck. Very thin ribbon. So I will draw that in. It obviously obeys gravity, so it's going to be hanging in this direction. I assume it obeys gravity, at least. It'd be quite a surprise if it didn't. And it didn't look like it had an outline at all. So I'm just going to do it in its own color. So let's put this on a layer that I will call Kiara Clothes. Okay, so that should be above body, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, okay. Now, choker, choker, covering the outline of the neck, because it is, of course, over the neck. And then the bow won't fall that much. You know what? Yeah, there's not actually too much differentiation between where the... You can still tell, but it's fine. So if I just do it the same way that I did the bow on her hat and make it a lot more clear where the lines of the bow are, then it won't look bad. As bad. If I just do the bow itself in a slightly darker shade than what I make the ribbon, I think it should actually be reversed. If the ribbon is further back, it should be darker. But if I lighten the shade, so this direction, it should look, yeah, there's a bit more differentiation. Okay, and then back to this color. The ribbons themselves will hang down this way. Like this. Okay, and these should also be in the lighter color, so that there's a bit of consistency to it. So that the ribbon is in a lighter color than the bow, but the outline is still dark. Like that. Okay, that's good enough. I need to stop saying things are good because, you know, they aren't. But they're good enough. Okay. So, what do I have already? Hats, hair, face, clothes, body. God, this is body 2.0. Ugh. Alright. Let's get clothes in. It's about time. I need an image where she isn't holding her weapons. You can go. And you can come back. Now then, this was the sheet that I was using when I originally was drawing. You know what, I'm gonna get those little details on the ribbon. So little lines on it. This. Like that. And there and there. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Okay, so clothes themselves. I'm gonna go in with a black outline for this. But even if there isn't one, I just need it. I wouldn't be able to do this properly without a black outline for it. Okay, so now I can actually re-rotate the canvas so that it appears more as if she was standing up. Oh. Is her torso always this long? How horrifying. That needs to shrink. That needs to shrink for sure. Oh no. Gora's directly behind her though. that interferes with Callie and Gura. But we need to, like, cut off this much of her torso. If like that much of her torso. Oh, dear. Well, let's go body 2.0. Time to cut you down to size. I don't want to mess up Gura too much. Okay. If I do this, and all I have to do is erase a bit of Gura. Okay. Save and set. And then time to erase and reconnect her body. I think that looks a bit better. Or does her body look too short now? I can't tell. I'm gonna go with this. So then, let's see, where is the base? Okay, so it's a V. I'm just going to find her belly button. Okay, so where's the narrowest point? Right here. Belly button's a bit below the narrowest point. So right around here. So that's belly button, which means that that comes up like that. Let's fix Gura a little bit. Gura's right here in the middle. So let's erase the lines that need to be erased. Just small portions of that side of her hoodie, a little bit of that leg. Her tail is going to be extended a little bit, as well as this leg, just to match up with that line. 1 pixel there. And tail. No, tail's a bit thicker. There we go. Okay, back to Kiara. Working on clothes. So, do I still have that arm separate? I don't think I do. I think her entire body is the same. Yes, it is. Ah, how unfortunate. What didn't start to... What layer is that, then? Time to start hiding parts of Kiara until I can figure out what those are. Hair outline. Got it. Oops. Got gone. Okay, back to body. Wait, am I drawing her clothes on her body layer? I am. I am a fool. Okay, clothes layer. So, like that. There's the bottom. Goes up to around the layer of her armpit. So that's around here. And that's when it V's up to the shoulders. So here and here. So I can erase the parts that are covered by the arm, which is most of it, honestly. Let's see, maybe I'll drop that a bit lower so that it's apparent where it is. Yes. It's a bit better. And then when it comes back up, it comes down like this for a lapel, and then back up like that. Oh, but that's not her That's not her shoulder. That's where her shoulder would be if she wasn't laying down. So the strap is going to be pushed up. So let me go to her body and correct that line. This does not exist. Back to clothes, which means that the strap is actually here. Comes down like that to join the lapel there. Okay, that's looking a bit better. And then for the separate strap, right there. And the division between the white side and the, what is it, red? Or no, I got it backwards even. Which side's wider? The white side's wider even, so I got it completely reversed. So like that. I can do that as well, so that it shows the continuation. Okay, let me start getting skin in before that starts getting confusing. So it'll be the layer above body but below clothes. Kiara's skin. So let me just take a pic of that. And just gonna see if it works now. Nope, why would it? Alright. Oh. Let's go pixel by pixel. Because I am a fool who doesn't understand the tools I am using. Okay, I can use a larger brush now. Okay. Skin needs to go under body. And also under hair color. Under count. Wait, what? Kiara skin under Callie's hair color. There we go. No. Is it? It's her hair outline. No? Oh, it's partly transparent, isn't it? It's not. My cat's moving in front of me right now, so I might be a bit messed up for a second. Also, I'm probably quieter because he was in front of the microphone, and now his tail is directly in front of my face. Come on, get moving. Off with you. Okay. What am I doing wrong? This is Kiara's skin. Okay, but it is slightly transparent. Yes, it is. Alright. I'll just be careful about it then. Now do a little bit of erasing. No, I don't need to erase there. Just in case I let a little bit seep through. Right. I can just, yep. So this is where it's convenient. And also, I have to be very careful about the eyes because I want them to remain white. I also want to get the details around the eyes. Okay, now to do a little bit of erasing so I can clean out the eyes. Get them defined. There we are. Her skin is on. Okay. There's also a gap here. So where does the band start? Good question for another time. Alright, I'm just going to get the lines in. Let me just pick this dark color, which will serve as the seams on her clothes. So, since this complicated zipper bit is hidden underneath this arm, I can simply do this. This part is not hidden, so I will have to draw that sort of here. And this is underarm here. She doesn't reveal this part because it's a bit hidden, but you can see that it looks like the straps or the sides of this go along it. I don't know where it covers, but it does come along like that. So the armpit is exposed because you can see the, it's more clear on this side, but There's this portion, and then it goes down a bit. So it looks like just below the armpit is where it is. So I'm going to take that at its shape. Not sure how to describe that. But these two other seams start at around... Oh. Comes from here. And this also... can cover there. And this line would be shaped by her breast. Like this. Okay. Let me get to work on the shape of her body below. There's body. There we are. So that means that this shape is obviously not correct. Right. Oop. I don't want it in that color. Back to black. Does this. And then her armpits around. So the line of her arm comes in here and her armpits around here. So that sort of makes sense, but not quite. So let me follow the line of her arm down. Here. I think that works. I'm not very good with curved anatomy. Okay, so there's no indent in the middle, so it is flat across from the high points. So it's all one unit, sort of. So from here to around here, I guess. So if I were to do this, that would be roughly the shape. So that shouldn't connect directly in. It should connect in like that. Come on, draw a line. You can do it. It should be that sort of shape. Okay. I'm starting to understand a bit better. Okay, which means that this shape should be more like that, and less of a gradual curve. So this. Okay, but first things first, I need to get rid of this. Because it only serves to confuse me. Comes down and then out and around and then up, and it's fairly uniform, or curving back up. Alright. But the angle of this is what's going to be confusing, because they are affected by gravity, obviously. So they need to appear affected by gravity. So where does the line fall? I think it should be more straight up. No, it shouldn't. It should be on a slight downwards angle. Like that. Where does it curve back up? I think here. I think that's what I want. And this line should be curved down a bit more. So if I move back to her clothes... What layer is that on? Are her clothes part of her body? They aren't. Oh my god, you can just double click those? I swear you couldn't do that. Okay, well it's only the orange parts that are something completely unknown to me. Not part of Callie's hair. The part of her hats? No. Her hair outline? No. Her face? No. What are you? Is it part of her skin? It is. It's part of her skin. Okay. Time for you to go. And now back to clothes. Oh. But I think that one also needs to be got. So like this. And then when it comes to here, it should stop. It should be a hard stop. And then it should continue from here because of how perspective works. Maybe it starts to curve back a little bit. Like this. Continues like this from the underside. I think that's probably as good as I'm gonna get it. Okay, so let's of the pixels that are intruding on this. Okay, yes. I believe that is mostly correct. Get that a bit more uniformly curved. Also, that's not how the curve should work on the other one. It shouldn't curve like that. Should come flat down a little bit before curving up. Like that. Okay, it looks bad. But that's what it should be doing. I'm just not doing it well. Because the curves aren't uniform. That looks like it could be a bit better. Potentially. want that middle one to curve down a bit more. No, too much curve, too much. Just a bit more. Just ever so slightly. Okay. You know what? Back to body. That's the problem. I was thinking too much as one unit. I said one unit, and I was somewhat wrong. Because they should still have individual shape. Okay. Here too. Yes. Okay. Yes. And that means that the curve there should be slightly different, because it should be going slightly more down the center, I think. Yes, that line's too diagonal. It should be more straight. Straight up, and then attaching here. So back to clothes. I was making concessions that shouldn't have been made. Okay. That goes into there, that goes into there. This one's slightly more subdued angle because it's going down the center. There's less for it to be deformed by. Even though this is more of a audio journal than a stream, this is very much helping me understand what I need to be working on. There we go. Well, that's starting to look real. And I can take this. And looking at this, it's sort of just connected directly with where the rest becomes clothing. I'm going to thicken it a bit here to show that that is a clothing line meeting a skin line. And in fact, let's move on to the arm protectors. See, so those connect in right around here, honestly. There's not too much distance, especially now that that arm is raised. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to do something tricky, just to prove my point. I wonder if I can set a rotation axis. So, that's the shoulder. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I want it to rotate around like that point. I can probably just rotate it and match that point. Yeah. Keep it consistent. But if her arm was raised like like I have it. That. Yes, that is much closer there. Because it doesn't do that, it's more like this. Because of how the skin and muscles in your arm work. Alright. Deselect. So, that makes some amount of sense for it to be there, and it also comes off of the body a little bit. So, let's do that. Okay. So the sleeves come off of the body. And at this point, they also divot back in a little bit. Like this. Okay. Now then, let me go to her body. Oh, you know what? Let's use these to separate. Where's Kira's skin all the way down there? Right. Kira's skin needs to be behind Callie's hair outline. Okay, so using Callie to separate her from Kiara. Using Kiara's name to separate her from Ame. And Ame's name to separate her from Gura. Gura to separate her from Ina. And Ina to separate herself from God. Okay. So, right now I'm working on Kiara. And I need to edit her body a little bit. Get rid of this line, because it's hidden behind the clothes. Get rid of that line. Okay, so back to clothes. Like that. Elbow out a bit more, like that. Back to body. Oh, what are you? If not body. You're not clothes. You are clothes. Interesting. Okay. And background. There we go. Okay, you know what? I think the line of her body would come in, like, right around here. I think. That looks slightly accurate, so I'll go with it. Okay. Back to clothes. Kiara's clothes. So, this is blue? Yes, with a black band at the top. Okay. Black band at the top? Yes. It's also pointed, right? Sort of. But it's definitely not curved. It's more of a soft point. Alright. You know what? I can probably just do this. Yes, I can. Because it is just a line. Damn it. I did it again. Like that. Perfect, perfect. Right. And then let's just take the blue here. Doesn't quite work the same way. Okay. Small my pen. Close off the lines. Fill tool. There. Okay. And is it the same for the bottom? No, the bottoms are red. And the interiors are white with shaded lines. The shaded lines are just about the only thing I can use to convey that this has dimension. I'm not quite sure how to phrase that. Also, I need to work on this because it doesn't quite join the elbow correctly. And I believe that's still a part of her body. Mostly part of her body. Except for this bit that's part of her clothes. Okay, so. Okay, I am on clothes. That's where I want to be. But I don't want it to be blue. I think that's what I want. Yes, yes. That extra bit of line. Okay. To be bulging. Sort of makes her arm look fat. That's better. Like that. this fine motor control is really taking its toll on my right arm. Very specifically my shoulder. Alright. What's her hair outline that her hair color is part of, right? Yes. Okay. I just want this to not be interfering. Still something about the chest that I don't like. I think it's this line. This line needs to be further over. This line's too curved as well. I think maybe I just made them too big. Oh, it's here. It's right here. That's where I'm having the problem. That's not quite it. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. It's like this. I need a like just a bit of out like that. I think. Oh, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Oh, this is driving me insane. There's something that I'm doing wrong here, and I just can't quite tell. Curve is too intense, something to that effect. Let me just go back to before I erased it. That's the original. I can get rid of this bit of detail that I did get rid of the first time. I think it might be the curve is too intense here. I might want to soften it. No, that just makes it look like nothing. Does the curve need to hit here? No. This one just looks deflated, almost. Okay, so if I have to draw the line of it, looks like that. Okay. I think I just have to think about where it actually is. So, come from the cleavage. That might be it. Okay. This one looks fine to me. So if I do that, I should just be able to copy and move that over. So if I just create a temporary layer, just put it on the very top, just, I'm not even gonna name it. And I do this, and I move this layer over. This should give me the shape that I want to work with. Okay, for her body. Okay, I think that's what I need to do. So if I now go to her body and do this. Because it is a bit... There we go, like that. And now I hide that layer. Okay, I think I'm making progress. Because they should be roughly the same size and affected by gravity in a similar way. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. Let's just get rid of where these lines end. Oh! It doesn't look right. It looks so close to being right. I think it starts to curve in too early. A bit more volume. No, that's not right either. I think this angle's better. Okay. So then. Oh, no. I want to go back onto my special testing layer. So. Are they too low down? Is that the problem that I'm running into? Am I just misjudging the location that these are supposed to be in? I think I might be. Are they supposed to be further to the right, maybe? Oh, I also think it's supposed to be an inverse curve here as well. Let me... Right. That's the line of the clothes. Okay. Body and clothes need to change a little bit. So, just to curve inwards, like that. And her body, like this. No. I'm putting my hand in front of my face because that's what I do when I'm thinking. But also when I'm not thinking because I can't think to not put my hand in front of my face. Ugh. It can't be like that. It can't take that shape. It has to be an outwards curve like that. Because that's how the uniform works. Okay. Back to the special layer. Move that over. It's like spot on. 'Cause that's where it should be. Right? So the size is right as well. I think I'm spending too much time on this. I don't think I am, I know I am. Oh well. Oh, back to clothes. Pick this. Wait, what? Pick this. It's because I think I've solved it. Because this curve needs to be on, because if that curve, where is it? It's straight down the center. Okay. Which means that it needs to be connecting at the center here. Need to consider where these lines should be connecting to in relation to where they are on the uniform. I think that was the biggest mistake that I was making. So, that's probably the best I can do. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. Okay. Now. That layer can go. Back to clothes. Okay, so. Color pick. I think this is composed of her body, so I'm just gonna have to color it in manually. Size 5 brush. Looks good enough. Pixel by pixel time. Size 1 brush, maximum zoom. MS Paint time. That portion right here is probably the area that caused me to need to do this pixel by pixel the most. And if I was a good artist, this bottom portion would need to be shaded in as well. Alright, now that I'm actually drawing things, I need to go back and watch some actual art streams where people do coloring and details like this and actually pay attention to how they're doing things, as opposed to just watching the pictures be constructed without really understanding what's happening. But now that I have a baseline knowledge of what is happening, I can sort of understand it a bit better and follow what they're talking about. Okay, I'm going to take some light gray lines and get some perspective. This one here would probably vanish around that point. This one here would go up through the elbow. This one here would probably curve along the elbow and maintain its position near the top before reconnecting. This one, do much the same thing. Not quite, not quite. I think this one sort of gets pulled in by the elbow like that, disappears before coming back out around again like that. I have one here that disappears into perspective. No. This. And then comes back out here. And another one that does that. I think that's about right. I think maybe the curve here might be a bit too extreme, but as long as you don't look too closely, I think it conveys what I'm trying to get across fairly well. She does have a bit of a giraffe neck, I'm now noting. It should be shorter, but it's not. Oh well. Alright, and I'm going to want to do something similar here because of perspective. This is probably one of the more difficult perspective shots that I have, is that arm. Yeah, I think it actually is the most difficult perspective thing that I have. Alright, well, tough luck me. Okay, you know what? Wait, didn't I have Kiara's skin? Is that... Oh, right, that's down here. Let me just color in some skin real quick. Ugh. Can't even see the difference between skin and anything else. Nope, nope. Don't want skin in front of body. Okay, pixel time. Even though it's almost impossible to make out anyways. Go. That's skin. And this is skin. Pixel time. Okay. That should be connecting a bit shallower, I feel. It's fine the way it is. I'm not particularly bothered by it at this point. Alright. Oh, I've been going for 2 hours, and I've done this. I'm starting to go hollow. Don't you dare go hollow out there, my friend. Oh, you know what? I'm missing the lapel on her left side. Oh, and the badge. The big old badge. Can I just copy and paste that? It's so detailed. Yeah, that'll cover up like right here as well, which is the area that I was having the most trouble with. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, I'm just going to get the rest of the general outline of her less complicated clothes now, because I feel like taking a bit of a break. Okay, so skirt time. Kiara's clothes. So, connecting around here. That's skin colored. Black outline. And does it dip down? No, it's flat. It's very flat. So like this. That allows for like no movement. That's fine. It's artwork. I can force it to allow for movement. Also, I'm just gonna close this gap here. I'm on the correct layer anyways. Okay. You know what? I guess I'll show that a bit. But this is slightly out of the layer of the body. So, like this. Yes, like that. Okay. Now, if I go back to the body layer, I can do a bit of erasing here. Okay. Do a bit of erasing here so that the clothes can come out a bit from the body. And that is about the length of her skirt as well. I'm going to make it a bit longer because modesty. Should bite into the skin a little bit there, but not on that side. Damn it. No. Like that. It's a bit better. Okay. I'm satisfied. And then if I come back to... That was on her body layer, wasn't it? Whatever. Like that. Causes a bit of an indent there. Okay. Now the belt that is diagonal across her waist. Followed by something obscenely complicated. Let's begin. All right. I'm obviously not going to be able to write that in. But let me just get the... Actually, you know what? Where is it? Let me just create a new layer and draw the outline of this. And then I can copy this layer just a perfect tracing, which I think is a no-no in the art community, but I'm not necessarily part of the art community. And this is sort of just a shortcut. So now I can select this layer, cut, paste, and undo that paste and create a new layer for it. Okay. There we go. I've got her transformer tool. If I select that. I can rotate it and shrink it down to size. Yes. There we go. All right. Just about good. Rotate it a bit more. Perfect. Oh, my cat's back. All right. Well then. Here he comes. Oh, no, he's just sitting off to my left now. Probably because he can't get to his bed. Because my microphone is in the way. Okay, now then, if I go back to clothes, and is that part of her body? Please don't tell me it's part of her body. Wait, what? What layer is Kiara Transformer? What's on layer Kiara Transformer? Nothing looks out of place. What is this layer? This is Kiara Transformer. Doesn't move anything else. Okay, Kiara Transformer's just nothing then? If I hide it, nothing is hidden. I also just noticed that Callie's clothes are on a layer that they shouldn't be on. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Okay, it created its own layer. Okay, the Transformer can stay. Callie's skin? No. Your color below outline. That's okay. I messed something up. Fortunately, I was able to fix it. Because her crown and the outlines were hidden behind her hair. Okay. Now then, if I go to Kiara's clothes, right, that's part of her body? Yes. Okay, so let's go to clothes, layer this is all supposed to be on. The outline of this. Oh, my cat's moving. Probably just gonna have to throw him off. Just wanders around my desk like it's his property. Not entirely sure what he's doing right now. He's behind my monitor. Okay. So then. Got that sort of shape going on? No, it's even more than that. It's got that sort of shape going on. Let's erase. Ooh, too much erasing. Okay, and it has the band across it. This, like that. It's sort of a brown band. It looks like it's masking tape. Oops. 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 Boy, all I can do is make mistakes right now, huh? Okay, now I can go pixels. Okay. Details of this thing are tricky. So like that. Oh, it's even more complicated. God. So that. There. Oh, time for a whole bunch of flat colors. This thing has too many intricate little patterns and details, and oh, it's enough to make my head spin. Was worried that might happen. Alright, and this can all be pale bluish green. As can that. Oh, it can't. Oh, darn it. Okay, the tip of it's red. Base of it's yellow. There's a hard dividing line right around here. Pixel painting time. There we are. Alright, and everything else is a dark blue base. Wonderful. Look at that. It's completely indistinguishable. There's almost no way to tell the difference. Let's just put a couple little red lines. Pick the color. Draw some squiggles. It's fine. I'm fine. Okay. I'm gonna blur that a bit. Or blend, I think, is actually what I want to be doing. Yeah, good enough. Except for the little detailings in here. I want to get that accurate too. Because I'm crazy. Okay. Yeah, I don't need the yellow detailing. Can barely even, or I doubt you would even be able to see it from here. Okay. Well, let's get a bit more skin in. Okay, our skin is down here, right? Yeah. I can also color in her stomach a bit. And by a bit, I mean entirely. Pixel perfect, pixel perfect. Despite all of my gripes with art, I'm finding that I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Because whenever I'm not drawing, I would like to be finishing this. But I don't want to work on it off stream, because I like documenting the progress that I'm making. But also I feel like I could be far more productive if I did work off stream. That's sort of just a lose-lose situation. Let me shade the inside of this. Get a dark gray. This color. Yeah. That's about right. I also realize that these aren't the final positions of the hands either. Those are going to have to change. But as for now, she's about as finished as Callie, which is, all things considered, decently finished. So, I'm actually going to move on to Ina, I think. Just for a bit. I just realized I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. I've barely made any progress. Okay. So, I was thinking about it, and I think the problem with Ina is that her head is too potato-shaped. Her hair is too high up. Needs to move down a little bit. She looks like she's balding. Yeah, those are the main conclusions that I've come to. So, I'm going to move up to Ina, grab her hair, and drag it down a little bit. Why did I do that? That's part of her face, right? Control Z. Okay. In his face. Yes, it sure is. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just trace over it on the hair layer. Grab a color pick of this. Go into single point. And just do a perfect trace. Alright, now if I go to the face layer, I had to concentrate a little bit there. I can just do this. Now go back to the hair layer, fill in all the small pixel gaps that I missed because I couldn't see where I was drawing. Bang presto, her hair is all one piece again. Alright, now. What? Not quite done yet, I see. Now am I done? I sure am. Alright, yep. Drop the hair down a bit. That looks good. Okay, go into the face layer. Get rid of that side. I want to get rid of that there so that I can have the head curve right. No. Okay, I guess that's still fine. I think I need to curve in the face a bit more there then. No. Maybe move her mouth a little bit. There's something horrifyingly wrong about Ina's face. I don't know what it is. No. Maybe that's it? Maybe? Her head blended straight into her neck. She's looking down, so there should be differentiation between her chin and her neck. I've solved it. Oh. Oh, that was far too difficult. Okay. Now then, if I can get rid of the overlapping hair. Oh. But not in time. Wait, what? I can get rid of parts of the overlapping hair. Why does this one look so weird? That's supposed to be one of her squishy hairs. It just looks slightly off. Looks too thin. I need to thicken you up. I was using a 3-point brush here for some reason. No, I was using a 2-point brush. For some reason. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, you know what? Her face is also slightly odd. Gonna lasso this eyeball. Gonna move it. Gonna shrink it a little bit. Gonna rotate it. Okay, and now I'm gonna get rid of her ET skull. Using a smaller brush size. I think it looks better. But again, I'm not an artist. Okay. I've been going for over an hour and a half. I'm going to call it here for the day. Perhaps I'll stream for longer and try and be a bit more focused. I did have a lot of fixing to do with Kiara's just whole body situation. Yeah, and I've got a whole bunch of fixing to do with Ina. She looks like she's made out of Play-Doh, almost, it feels like. You know what, I'm gonna do something about this eye, and then I'm gonna leave. Because it's too detailed. Oops. Deselect. Ina's face. Nope. That's a bit better. Also, let's Keep noticing little details that I need to touch up, or else I'll probably forget about them by the time I come back to this. Just hollow that out. Okay. I am somewhat satisfied with the progress that I've made thus far. I'm going to save. And I'm going to end my stream. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy your life.